you're now financing that additional purchase price out over 30 years. And it doesn't work out to be very much. I think it doesn't work out to be very much. I'm not going to get into specifics on numbers. For every 1,000, it'll bring it up $15, $20. I'm not going to get into the weeds on this. I had a stubborn seller. I wanted the building. I came up to this building fit my business model entirely. It had been well maintained. He had owned it for 10 years, which is, it's a big sign that there were no problems. I said, look, I'll give you full price. The catch is, you got to put vinyl siding on the place. The outside looked like shit. My realtor was like, she's, you sure? And yep, we closed the deal within 30 days. After I came and inspected the siding, he had the siding thrown on. The building fits my model. It makes me money every month. He improved the value of my property by $30,000, $40,000. I was able to refinance that building a couple of years later, use that money for other things. However, leveraging that additional sales price will cost you very little every month compared to taking the money out of your pocket to acquire the building and have the work done. So there's always two sides to every stick. You gotta keep that in mind. You can question, comment on having the seller make improvements in the section below. I'd be happy to go through it with you and prove to you how it works. Now, here's a good point I want to make before we wrap this up. Due diligence is your sole responsibility. It's not your realtor's responsibility. It's not the man on the moon's responsibility. It's your responsibility. You've got to knuckle under, sit at your desk, and ask for numbers, go on tax assessors' databases, and put them all on your spreadsheet, okay? You've got to verify all of your numbers. If you buy a building and you just felt like it, okay, you listen to rents are typically, they can be fudged. I want to see leases, period. If you buy a building and you haven't verified your numbers, and you turn around to a tenant and you say, where's the rest? You know what? Let the buyer beware, okay? It's not gonna work out, all right? And just understand that this is an adult business that you're running, and you can't be like a little kid and just accept what people tell you. All right, you have to challenge it. You have to ask for proof. Now, okay, just like I said before, the current owner should be able to furnish this information. If they're serious, they're going to get this over to you very fast. Okay, emailed, PDF, here you go, print it out, and work with it. Before I wrap this up, a couple do's and don'ts throughout the negotiating process. Do have your financing in place, 100%. Not just, oh yes, my best friend is a mortgage broker and he said he'd write me a loan. Bullshit. Get them your social security information. Okay, have them run all of your info and tell you realistically you can buy a building up to X number. Period. Okay, make money when you buy. All right, it's just that simple. You've got to make money when you buy. Verify all your numbers. Has to see all your leases. Be prepared to evict current tenants. But in the beginning, buy turnkey. You're buying a 3-4 unit property. You want it occupied. One vacancy that someone they had gotten behind on their rent, that's okay. But you want this as turnkey as possible. If there's one vacancy and the unit's ready to go, you're fine. Don't be afraid to have the seller do some work for you and pay a little bit more. Your don'ts, all right. Here's one I want to just get right out there. Don't base your decision to buy any building that you're going to rent out ever based on any sort of emotion. All right, I see it happen, and I laugh every time. It's strictly business, okay? When you're working your spreadsheets, you're not emotional about it. When you're writing your business plan, it's not an emotional thing. It can and will make you very happy when you make your millions later on. But right now, it's not an emotional decision. Don't buy your first building or two based on after repair value, okay? If you got a realtor who's trying to push a building that's going to be worth all this money after you put your little $50,000 into it, in the beginning, find another realtor, okay? You don't want to learn and fail from lack of experience with it. Number one. Number two, forget after repair value, forget appreciation. That's all just icing on the cake for later. Okay, you can refinance, take a big chunk of money out later, and buy something that you're gonna throw a bunch of money into and flip and make, an extra $50,000-$70,000. I'm more than happy for you to do that later. Don't do it now. Not based strictly on that, okay? Are you comfortable with what that building makes? What's it worth to you? All right. And don't be afraid to say no. I'm going to actually leave it at that. Don't be afraid to say no. If you feel like you're not finding out 100% of the story, if at any point in the time you feel pushed by everybody, the seller is an experienced landlord, they've owned buildings for 30, 40 years, and they're cashing out to retire, they know every trick in the book, okay? Their realtor knows every trick in the book. Your realtor knows every trick in the book, but they are supposed to be on your side. If they start all like, come on, you really need to go back to a couple of my rules. A, what's it worth to you? Does it fit your business model? Have you done your homework? And are you okay with what it makes you every month? If coming up to that number to make the deal happen works based on the answers to all of those questions and the numbers, then you're okay to do it. But you've made an open-eyed decision. Don't make a closed-eyed decision. Thank you very much, everybody. Feel free to like and subscribe, and we'll see you shortly on another episode of Chris the Connecticut Landlord.